Hey guys, good, the bad, the unusual. Just gonna do another quick video. First one, my good, is gonna be Dabangg, and it is a Bollywood musical action comedy crime thriller drama from India. Absolutely awesome. It's a Bollywood flick. There's song and dance and all that. But I picked it up because I thought it was going to be like xTheGoodBadUnusualx, which, if you don't know, is a robot musical. I've talked about it before. It was a great film, great music videos, like kind of mixed in, but it makes these films run really long. This one's only 2 hours, so I was really surprised with the runtime, and it was like just long enough to keep me interested in it the whole time. Anyway, it's from 2010. It was India's highest-grossing film. I think it's been topped since then, but upon its release, it was their highest-grossing film. It was also the director's first film. Now, he used a big-name actor, and I'm not positive on how to say the dude's name, but I think it's Salam Khan. This dude's acted in almost 200 films, like some ungodly high number of films, but the director, this was his very first film, and it's like nonstop action, tons of fighting. The way it's choreographed reminded me of like some of the older like 90s Chinese action flicks. Anyway, it really is awesome, and it's got really bad reviews if you look it up. But it's all people from India bashing it, saying it's not serious enough. So, some cultures, films have to be serious in order for them to, enjoy it or think it's film worthy. But not all films are serious. That's just the way it is. So I saw nothing wrong with it. In fact, it reminded me of if Quentin Tarantino would direct a Bollywood action flick, it would end up being something like this. The story itself is, it's a pretty weak plot. It's about a cop who's crooked, but he's a good guy. He's doing crooked stuff, but for good reasons. There's a love interest as well. Anyway, it's just a lot of fun. It's not released in the States yet, and it probably won't be at all. Most Bollywood flicks never make it or never get a release here in the States. But this European release is all region, so you can pick this one up. It'll play in all Blu-ray players. Alright, next, my bad. This one is called Transylvania 6 to 5,000. Now, I picked it up because it is an old Anchor Bay release, and like I've said a million times, I really enjoy kind of blind buying old Anchor Bay releases. However, I was definitely let down with this one. It's supposed to be a spoof comedy. It's from 1985. It was directed by Rudy D. Lucar. He's done some other stuff, not much of it that I've seen. He did Dracula, Dead and Loving It, and he also did Caveman, which starred the dude from the Beatles, Ringo Starr. I wasn't a big fan of either one of those two movies. I just kind of vaguely remembered them, and that's basically what's going to happen with this one. I'm going to vaguely remember it. It's about two reporters that have to go to Transylvania to create an interesting news report because the news is boring. And that's basically it. I mean, the plot's, it stays pretty cut and dry. The whole reason the film got made, and I found this really interesting when I looked it up afterwards, is the company, there was a power company, and their finances overseas were frozen in Yugoslavia. So they basically sold this money to a production company, but the production company could only use that money if they were in Yugoslavia. So they went out there and filmed this movie with that money. And kind of a cool story, kind of a weird situation, but it's not very good. I would not recommend it to anyone. If you collect the old Anchor Bay ones, I guess pick it up. It's out of print now, but other than that, don't bother with it. Now, lastly, we got my unusual. This is not only an unusual, but this is an excellent 2 thumbs up good film as well. It's kind of new. I haven't been able to keep up with everyone else's videos, but I'm sure it's already got some sort of buzz. I'm probably not the first person that's going to mention this, but it's Dear God No. The reason I chose it as my unusual is because this was one of the first 100 copies that they sold, which had been autographed by the director, the actors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 7 autographs on it. So it's a great addition, and I know not everyone was, lucky enough to be one of the first 100 to get it, but still, don't let that slow you down. Go out and get this. I highly, highly recommend it. It's kind of a homage film, It's like a biker flick, but then there's also Nazi scientists, tons and tons of topless chicks, kind of a Nazi exploitation creature flick. I mean, it does everything. But basically, it follows a biker gang around. They run into some regular trouble. They terrorize the town. It's very, very, very gruesome. It's extremely violent, not for people who are squeamish or anything like that. It's extremely low budget as well, but it's done just perfectly. I know grindhouse flicks are like the kind of like cool thing to do now, and I know like Planet Terror, Death Proof, Machete, all that kind of stuff kind of kicked it off, getting people reinterested in that. But this one is like a true payback film. I mean, it stays way more true to what grindhouse films were versus what those guys are doing with like the whole grindhouse franchise nowadays. Anyway, follows a vicious gang around. They get into tons of trouble. Eventually it becomes like a home invasion flick, and they are taking over this little cabin in the woods. Cabin in the woods is run by mad scientist Nazis who are messing with creatures. Don't want to ruin it, but there's a giant Bigfoot creature at the end. The film is non-stop. It's like power-packed. You don't lose interest at all. It doesn't slow down, and then it just ends. I mean, it's a great time from beginning to end. Little trivia for the film. There are 31 breasts in the film. It was filmed on 16 millimeter. The wine in the film is called D'Ozero, which is the same wine that was used in Tomb of the Blind Dead. And they did that, again, to just kind of pay back the films that have paved the way for them. It's all practical effects. There's no CGI whatsoever in the film. There's hidden messages in the newspaper scenes. There's a few newspaper-like montages, but if you pause it and actually read the newspaper, there's a message from the director. And the lead actor, who his name is Jeff Bryant, is the lead singer in a band called Bigfoot, which is really cool. And once you get to the end of the film, you'll find out why. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. That's my good, my bad, and my unusual. As always, I want to hear what you guys thought about these films. And take it easy. Have a good one.